This is WFYI News Now. It's Friday, January 2nd, and I'm Jill Sheridan. Here are today's top stories around central Indiana. The Indiana University football team has done the unthinkable. IU won the Rose Bowl for the first time ever on Thursday in a blowout against Alabama. Eric Weddle has more.
The final score was 38-3. Indiana's offensive line paved the way for nearly 200 rushing yards. Head coach Curt Cignetti says a physical run game allowed the Hoosiers to demoralize their opponent.
Well, I think that's what you would always love to see as the head coach. Things we used to preach when I was at Alabama about changing the way they think, breaking their will, and that's the best way to do it, running the football.
Next, the team moves on to the college football playoff semifinals in Atlanta. Indiana faces Oregon in a rematch on January 9th.
We'll have a very big challenge ahead of us next week. It's very hard to beat a really good football team twice.
The Hoosiers are now 14-0. I'm Eric Weddle.
Murders and violent crime in Indianapolis is trending downward. Eric Weddle has more.
In 2021, Indianapolis marked a record number of murders, 241. In 2025, the city recorded around 133 murders, a nearly 45% decrease. Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department Chief Chris Bailey says the pandemic changed the way the department polices the city.
We're much more focused in our efforts to combat violent crime and crime generally. So we're focused on those small number of people, places, and behaviors that contribute to crime.
Other measures of violent crime, including non-fatal shootings and robberies, are also down. Bailey took over as chief in early 2024 and says much of his focus has been on the community, and that has led to improved numbers.
Working with the community to accomplish that is important because those are not just statistics. They are human beings and families and neighborhoods spared the tragedy that none of us want.
Bailey pointed to the creation of the Crime Gun Task Force, a coordinated violence reduction strategy, and mental health response efforts as contributing factors to the reduction in violent crime. A number of high-profile incidents downtown have prompted state leaders to call for better policing in the city. Bailey says Indianapolis has one of the safest downtowns in the country.
Millions of people pour in and out of downtown every single year, and they go home the way that they came. But perception matters.
Moving into 2026, IMPD will focus on the implementation of a 5-year strategic plan. I'm Eric Weddle in Indianapolis.
10 years ago, Bon Appetit magazine named Milktooth one of its best new restaurants in America. Now the popular spot in Indianapolis's Fletcher Place neighborhood is changing. Owner Jonathan Brooks posted on social media that this spring the restaurant will transition to a meat and 3 restaurant named Arlene's after his mom. The Indiana BMV says more people are skipping the counter to use self-service kiosks to renew their registration or driver's license. The agency says it processed more than 1.5 million kiosk transactions in 2025, surpassing its goal by 100,000. Officials say they added 14 new machines last year and plan to expand locations and services in 2026. If you get a drink to go, you might want to think twice about throwing away your paper or plastic cup. Rebecca Thiel reports at least 2 major waste companies that serve Indiana now accept those cups in the recycling.
Waste Management recently announced it would accept to-go cups. Rumpke Waste and Recycling has been taking them for 2 years now. Both companies provide recycling for multiple Indiana cities and towns or offer services like drop-off locations. Hillary Laddig with Rumpke says AI sorting technology and more demand for these materials has made recycling these cups possible.
Paper mills kind of put out this announcement that they want cups. Take them in and let's start recovering this very valuable material that we just simply didn't have a long-term home for previously.
Check with your local recycling service to make sure they accept to-go cups before throwing them in your recycle bin. Laddig says straws and plastic lids on paper cups still go in the trash. I'm Rebecca Thiel.
Waste Management did not provide anyone for an interview. When it comes to keeping highways clear of snow and ice, the Indiana Department of Transportation says it starts preparing long before the first flakes fall. INDOT Northeast District Public Relations Director Hunter Petroviak says training and planning start early in the fall and crews constantly monitor weather forecast once winter arrives. When a storm hits, Petroviak says plows are typically on the road around the clock, with drivers working 12-hour shifts.
They kind of just stay out until conditions improve and our supervisor team feels that they can pull some staff off the road.
Motorists should drive for the conditions and prepare for slick roads. That's all for today's episode of WFYI News Now. Our podcast is produced by Zach Bundy with support from the news team at WFYI and public media journalists across the state. Kendall Antron produced our music. If you liked today's episode, remember to subscribe and share, and follow WFYI on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube to get the latest updates from our newsroom. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next time.